ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the Friday Game Night Pick'em Show here on AccessWDUN.com. Same crew back this week with you. Yes, we did not get booed off the stage by anyone. We received no bad comments for our picks, which was good.
Maybe that's because of how good the picks were. Did you ever think about that?
It could have been. Bo Wilson, Jeff Hart, Caleb Hutchins, Seth Chapman in with you on the show today. And we've got some scintillating matchups to talk about today, fellas. How are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. You were serious about that.
Jeff is already asleep.
You were serious about that.
I was serious about it. Serious.
There are
I was doing a whole lot better at about 10 o'clock Wednesday morning.
Yes. Same here. We got the news that Branch and Gainesville had been canceled and will not be made up. So
it puts a whole damper on the whole weekend.
It did put a whole damper.
I mean,
on
I got a right mind to just go home and not cover a game all Friday.
And now it puts a damper on today because that was going to be our marquee matchup on radio. And, well, anyway, let's move on. We've got several games to talk about.
I think, first of all, we need to handle the standings.
We do need to handle the standings.
I got them right here.
So, Jeff, go ahead and read the standings off to us, please.
Well, do you want me to start with who's on the bottom or who's on the top?
It doesn't matter.
All right, I'll start with who's on the bottom. Unfortunately, that'd be me.
Okay.
I was 10-4, so it's not like it was a bad
Loser.
week. It's not like it was a bad week.
Okay.
Am I pointing at Seth? Am I pointing at him? And I
No, other way.
Other way?
There you go.
There you go.
That's that is a lovely bit. I like that a lot.
So Caleb and Seth were 11-3, so just one pick better than me, and Bo was 12-2.
We are the champions
of week 2.
Yes, there's a long way to go.
Of week 2.
Okay, guys, week number 2, in 3 sentences or less, describe what you saw and your feelings after the game was over.
3 sentences
or less.
Disappointed in North Hall.
Okay. 1.
Good to see Rabun bounce back.
2.
And I'm not sure I have a third one.
That's 3.
Okay.
Caleb, what's up?
I was also disappointed in North Hall.
1.
Gainesville's offense in the first half at Chattahoochee was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And 2. I continue to be impressed with West Hall so far this year.
There you go. Seth, do you have anything? I know you were only at 1 game.
Yeah, I only made it over to 1 game.
You enjoyed yourself, though.
Don't you normally only make it to 1 game?
In
There's
football,
always that one guy.
In football, yes.
That runs the smoke and mirror effect.
And why do we always put him on?
I don't know. Impressed with West Hall. Got to say that. Number 2, also got to say, as you and Caleb said, Jeff, disappointed in North Hall. And really, the third one, kind of a hybrid there. Gainesville, impressed with Gainesville, and kind of impressed with how Dawson County's defense played against Flowery Branch, as we said on the show on Wednesday. So there you
have low. I'm not going to say low.
Before I got thrown off, that was going to be
they
one
gave
of my
up 31 points and
they
they
gave
lost.
up 31 points.
31
to
to 7.
14 to 7.5. So it was interesting to see improvement.
For one half,
they fought Flowery Branch pretty well for about a half of play. But Flowery Branch's defense so far this year has been so good that Dawson County just was never able to get enough traction to really cash in on that.
Notice I didn't say offense.
Right, which I think we all thought that was probably going to be the case.
All right, guys, so we got 4 games this week to talk about. We'll go ahead and start with the numero uno, Jackson County at Stevens County, as we begin our picks here today. But we, as usual, our format is we talk 4 games that we think are kind of the most intriguing, interesting, biggest matchups. And this week we'll start with Jackson County at Stevens County.
I tell you what, I'll start because I saw the Stevens County team last week. We talked about being disappointed in North Hall, and I think because we just felt like they looked like they were almost in mid-season form with that wing T, which sometimes can take a few games to get going. Really impressed with Stevens County. They really stuffed the North Hall run game from pretty much beginning of the game till the end of the game. And their offense was very opportunistic. And when I say that, they were really balanced, and they took what North Hall was giving them. They even popped a few big plays at the same time. But Jackson County, I'm also impressed with. One of these useless informational stats, Caleb, that we talked about on our Twitter show the other day, is that Jackson County is 8-13 under Rich McWhorter. 6 of their wins have been by shutout, and they shut out East Jackson last week. So the question is,
I just for a second, I'd like to go on record. I resent those stats being called useless.
Well, that's what they said. That's what they said. That's what they said. That's what Bo said.
Useless, interesting stats. There you go.
That's what he said. I think they're cool stats. How about you, Caleb?
I mean, obviously they're not useless because we are using them.
There
but
you
I'm
go.
just saying.
There you go. So, but so the question is, if you score against Jackson County, the offense seems to have trouble, but the offense looked pretty good last week. I think this could be a really interesting game. I think Stevens is going to win this game, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
This was a 1-touchdown game with, I want to say, about 5 minutes to play last year when they played in Jefferson. This is a much better Stevens County team than what Jackson County faced last year. I think we've seen that very evidently with what Stevens County has done against both White County and North Hall. However, I also think this Jackson County team is better than what they were this time last year. And I like the weapons they have on offense. I mean, we knew Trey Ransom was a good running back, but MJ Sperlin had 3 touchdowns last week for them. They have got, Markel Oliver is a dynamic receiver. They've got some real offensive weaponry to throw at Stevens County in this game. But I agree with you, Jeff. I think Stevens County, especially going to Toccoa, is kind of a buzzsaw right now. I'm going to take Stevens County in this one.
Seth, you picking this week?
Yeah.
I'm sure I look like I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm sure I kind of look like I'm dead. It's been a trying week.
Wait, is that a different look than normal?
Yikes. That's upsetting. That's unfortunate for me.
He's got them all in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
he's
I will pick this week. I won't delay us any further. I will pick. Seeing that Stevens County team and seeing the way they handled North Hall, I'm going to go with Stevens as well.
I hear you. Okay, so Stevens County the last 2 weeks, you guys have pretty much hit all the high points in it, but we saw what they did against White County. We also saw what they did against North Hall. Stowe is running the offense well. For Stevens County. TJ Everett running the ball well. I mean, they're, as you said, balanced. Stowe had, 216 yards passing last week. Now, Jackson County on the other side opened their season last week against East Jackson, and that was a close game at the beginning. Could have been a tie game at halftime. A play was called back. I think Stevens County is going to be way too much for Jackson County, so I'm going with Stevens County this week.
By the way, I'm picking Stevens County to win this game, but that does not deter me on this. What I think about this Jackson County team at this point.
Agree.
No,
I agree.
I still think they're better, and I think they've got a real shot to get back into the playoffs.
Look, I think their defense is going to be really, really good. I think that's going to be the key matchup. Is the defense against Stowe and Everett and that offensive line that kind of really just kind of pushed North Hall around last week.
Speaking of North Hall at Hart County this week, and this one's going to be another tough game for the Trojans. Hart County and White County on the same path to start the season because Stevens and Hart both beating White County, and now North Hall gets their turn at Hart County. This one's going to be a tough one for North, coming off a 42-0 shutout against Stevens County, but will that give them motivation this week against Hart County that could help them win this game? Who wants to go?
It will, but I think Hart County is the exact same thing I described about Stevens County earlier. I think North Hall is kind of walking into a buzzsaw on this one. I do expect North Hall to play better. I do think they'll play more inspired. But when you look at what Hart County's doing offensively right now, I think it's just going to be too much to handle at this point. By the way, how good is Region 8-3A? Nobody's really talking about it.
I've been talking about it. I have been talking about it.
Monroe area might be the 4th best team in that region. They're pretty doggone. Franklin County,
and they're ranked 10th in the state.
Franklin County might miss the playoffs, and they look pretty solid to me. So, I think Region 8-3A might be one of the best regions in AAA, which is saying something because that's a pretty stacked classification. I have Hart County winning this one.
I got a useless stat for you, Caleb. You ask about that. I shall give you the answer. I will. I am. That's all I am. I'm just here to be the useless guy.
Hey, that's good. That's good. We need one of those.
8-3A, 9-2 non-region play. Now, not to pick on East Jackson, both losses are by East Jackson, which means the rest of the region has run the table in non-region play. And 7-3A, just 5-9.
Yeah. Bo, can we rewind back to where you said we really need a useless guy? Doesn't needing a useless guy by extension make it not useless?
Man, this is really ruffling your feathers, all this useless information you've been feeding us.
I think he's just trying to get philosophical.
He tried to catch you in a conundrum there, and I noticed how you just bypassed.
Yeah.
You did a good Joe Biden. Hey, you did your good Joe Biden
I'm not taking questions on that at this time. So who's up next? Did you make your pick? Because I know you were talking.
Did not, well, I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead. Almost, I hate to parrot what Caleb just said, but okay. I agree. Lackey, he's got almost 400 yards already. Huge. 5 touchdowns last week against White County. I don't see. I mean, they were the North Hall defense was run over last week, and I think they're in for another kind of an outing. They're going to have to adjust somewhere, but I just think that line from Hart County and Lackey, I think they're probably going to. I'm not going to say have an easy time of it, but I think they're going to win this game. But North Hall really needs to. They need to show us a little bit more than what they showed last week, because this is a team we picked to win the region, and that was not the kind of effort that I think David Bishop was hoping to get in his return.
Well, as big of a
Bo, I'll let you talk in just a second, but first, just to
thanks, Caleb.
Piggyback off.
I'm gonna let you finish.
You keep piggying. Let's go.
I'm gonna keep piggybacking here off of what Jeff said, because much like I said about Jackson County, I'm taking Hart County. I think there's a chance Hart County wins big. I still think North Hall is one of the favorites in that region, and I don't know that I wouldn't still pick them to win the region, even if they get beat by a wide margin this Friday night.
Bo?
Are you done, Caleb?
I'm done.
You're done? Okay. Just Seth?
Seth, what you got?
I hate to mirror all that have come before me on this lovely show.
All of them that come before me.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I will.
Too much Game of Thrones right there.
I will mirror everybody. I'm going to go with Hart County because, to quote Caleb, I think North Hall's walking into a buzzsaw on this.
Caleb, you got anything on this comment?
No, I'm good.
the split, the realization. He's like, oh, they're talking to me.
Yeah.
That noise perfectly describes I wasn't paying attention.
Right. Yeah, of course.
The pickup.
You're not wrong. You're not. I'm in a room by myself here, and I can't see. I don't know if people at home know this because they can see all three of us at once. I can't see Bo, Jeff, or Seth right now. So I'm just looking at myself. I'm just looking.
You can't ever see me.
Face. And so I can't tell when you guys start talking. It's very easy to just check out for a few minutes.
So
I think that's a general consensus.
Yeah, I think it is too. As big as opponent as Stevens County was to North Hall last week, I think Hart County is even bigger. Hart County is bigger, faster, stronger. The Lackey kid, the running back up there, he is huge. So he's going to be big for them. And I just don't know if North Hall's defense is up to the task against such a fierce running attack that Hart County is going to rush at North Hall. So North Hall, I think, will play more inspired this week, but I don't think they have enough to get past Hart County. Hart County going to win this one. Not going to say they're going to win it big, but I think Hart County rolls in this one.
And look, our job here is to motivate North Hall, and I think we've done that. Now, come on, guys.
Yeah, we're trying to motivate.
Let's go.
Union County will travel to Chestatee coming up this week and on Friday tonight. And this game is an interesting game from the fact that Michael Perry is at Union County now.
Right.
And Chestatee last week against Cherokee Bluff scored 21 points, although they were beat 60-21 against Cherokee Bluff. So this one brings some interesting dynamics into the game. Jeff, what are your thoughts about Union versus Chestatee?
Well, this is an interesting game. They have a young defense still, and talking about Union going back to last year, some of the pieces that are moved up they're still giving up about 30 points a game over their last half dozen games going back to last year, and we know Chestatee always has the ability on offense to put up some points. So I see this as a high-scoring game. and I don't know how that plays for either one of them because they both won high-scoring games. They've lost high-scoring games over the last few years. I just know the Chessie has got to figure something out in defense. They gave up 46.9 points a game last year and gave up 60 in their opener, and that is the area that they've been working on. So I think I'm going to take Union in this, but, I mean, this could be, 50, 63, 59. I mean, it could be – it's some offensive numbers that we're probably not likely to see the rest of the year.
Yeah, it was the old familiar sting for Chestatee last week, wasn't it, with the defense? It seems like when Chestatee has had struggles, that always seems to be where the problems lie, or at least where the most glaring problems are. That is going to be interesting because Union County didn't look phenomenal offensively against Fannin County. Now, granted, Fannin County is a really good team and definitely probably a better defense than what they're going to see against Chestatee this week. I am going to take the War Eagles in this one, though, because I like Luke Bornhorst a lot. I think Chestatee is, much like what I said last week about West Hall and East Hall, I think Chestatee is more comfortable in their systems and everything right now than Union County is. And I think that's going to pay dividends for them in this game.
Seth?
It got really quiet for a minute.
It did.
Were you just going to wait to see if you could scare me again?
No.
Okay. I'm going to go with Union.
Boom.
I like this Union.
Roar.
I like this Union County team. I'm gonna go Union. After going up there, seeing both teams as I get to see usually every team in our region and our coverage. A lot of times I get to see them all before the season even starts. And after going up there to Union, I believe, Jeff, you were with me when I went up to Union. Seeing those guys in action, I really like what I saw in this Union County team.
I think that's a team to kind of look out for. Could be.
Guys, Chestatee had the most players coming back than Coach Conley's had in a long time. However, those players were 0-10 last year. But they are year improved. A lot of improvement. Luke Bornhorst showed improvement last week. He passed for over 200 yards in that game.
That's a pretty good.
Chestatee's offense has the ability to put up the big numbers. I believe they'll put big numbers up against Union County, but there's always that thing in the back of my mind that says, Chestatee, you need some defense. And we didn't see any last week. 60 points to Bluff, as we've all said, to start this game. This show. However, Union County still trying to figure it out. Under Coach Perry, it's going to be, game 2 because last week's game was canceled. So they're coming in, obviously, with more time to prepare for Chestatee, but I feel like Chestatee will make some great improvement from last week to this week, and I think Bornhorst will have a big game against Union County. So the War Eagles are going to roll in this one.
Is that a 50-50 split?
If I were the Wizard of Oz in North Georgia football, I think I would have, how he gave at the end of the movie, he gave the Tin Man a heart and won a brain. I would have given Chestatee defense. That would have been my gift to Chestatee.
Caleb, I think if you were the Wizard of Oz, we'd have just put you back behind the curtain a long time ago.
Oh, wow. Just hide him away over there.
There you go. Okay, so there's the picks in our top 4 games that we have selected to talk about now. Oh, you had another stat, right?
I had another stat on that. So I know that we're talking.
Oh, we're still talking same game.
Yeah,
Union Chestatee.
Yeah, I mean, and we're not picking on the Chestatee defense. Yeah, I don't know if anybody knows this. Who's the highest scoring team in the state, regardless of classification?
Bluff.
Cherokee Bluff. So
you know why I knew that?
Because I told you.
That's right.
Exactly. So while we're picking on the Chestatee defense, the Bluff offense is like rolling right now. So
I'm laughing, Bo, because he told me to.
This is our bank of information over here. Just ask Jeff.
Look,
I'm open, and he'll give you a fact.
I am open for deposits. If you guys would like to give me some compensation for all of this, making you all look good.
Yes, payday was Thursday.
As you finished last in the group in the pick'em in the first week.
Yeah. I was waiting to see who was going to bring that up first.
The bottom of the pack, Jeff Hart. Okay, guys.
2 game separation.
All right, let's roll here. We're going to start.
Start at the top.
we're going to start at the very top, and we'll start with Jeff and go around, okay?
Okay,
You
Banks
ready?
and East Jackson.
All right, Banks at East Jackson.
I'm saying East Jackson's going to get their first win this week.
Okay.
I agree. East Jackson.
Third.
I agree. East Jackson.
Clean sweep.
Wow, okay.
East Forsyth at Cherokee Bluff.
Why don't we start with Caleb?
Caleb.
I'm going to go with Bluff.
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 I think it's a clean sweep on that.
East Hall at Franklin. Seth.
East Hall.
Franklin.
I'm going to go with East Hall. I like what they're going. I like the direction they're going, I think.
I'm sticking with Franklin.
So Seth and I both picked East Hall.
And Caleb and I picked
50-50 split.
Oh, God.
Okay,
I'm
Dalton.
going to start turning into one of those commentators at bowling alleys.
Dalton.
50-50.
You can put some of those graphics on screen.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I might try.
Dalton at North Forsyth. I'll start. North Forsyth.
I'm going to go with the Raiders, too.
Yep, me 3.
4.
Okay.
Dawson County at South Forsyth. What say you, Jeffro?
I think I'm going to have to go with the War Eagles.
Yeah, I'm sticking with South Forsyth, too. Dawson County's going to have to find some more momentum offensively.
I think they'll find that momentum. I'm going with Dawson.
Whoa.
I-
Seth breaking away from the pack.
Yeah.
Well, you know how restaurants say servers needed?
Yes.
Well, Dawson County should put a sign on the door that says offense needed. I'm going to roll with South Forsyth.
Isn't
in this
that
one.
interesting that all of that offense from last year, we thought it was going to be the defense that might be an issue, and really right now
Yeah.
it's the offense for Dawson.
Yep.
That's just, I didn't think we would see that this year.
Okay, here's a dandy. Rabun Gap with all their Division I players will travel down to Lakeview Academy this week. Caleb, what say you?
I'm taking Rabun Gap. I think Lakeview will look better than they did against Mount Perrin. I think
I agree.
They'll continue to improve as it goes on, but I'm taking Rabun Gap in this one.
Raven Gap.
Lakeview's had a little extra time to prepare for this game. Not that they probably used Rabun Gap last week in preparation, but I'm going to go with Rabun Gap at this one.
Well, I am too, but I agree with you, Caleb. Lee Shaw knows what he's doing, and it's very rare that a Lee Shaw team, doesn't look real good 2 weeks in a row. I think they're going to look a lot better, but Rabun Gap's got a lot of talent.
Well, it's important to note with Lakeview that it's an interesting situation because last year, even though they were under a new coaching staff, they were a very veteran team.
Mm-hmm.
This year, they've got a lot of new faces out there.
Right.
So it's almost, even though it's year 2 under Lee Shaw, it's almost like it's like year 1.5 because they're kind of having to rebuild the roster now again.
That's correct. But again, he knows what he's doing. I mean, you played for him. So I just don't see Lakeview looking. I think they're going to get better each week. Rabun Gap is loaded.
Rabun Gap is loaded.
They're loaded. So it's going to be just a tough matchup.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is one of 2 regular season home games for
Yes.
Lakeview.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a weird schedule.
schedule.
They only have I think 2 all year.
Okay.
So
All right. So you make your pick.
I did.
Yep,
We
okay.
all 4 picked.
Okay, here we
Clean
go.
sweep.
Keep waiting.
Riverside.
I like that you two laughed and Caleb is just sitting there unamused at all.
Riverside.
It's hard to laugh. I can't see anything. I can't see anybody.
It's
It's
so frustrating.
like trying to laugh at a conference call. It's like
Well, I mean, that's weird because I said something funny. I didn't really do anything.
Yeah. Riverside at Druid Hills. Yes, Seth, what say you?
I'm going to go Riverside. I think they'll start their season with a bang.
Well, it's 600-plus games or days since they played a football game. They had their first 2 games canceled due to some type of COVID.
Now, would you like some more useless information?
Yeah, in just a second. I want to make my pick first. You can throw it at us.
Okay.
So Riverside finally, hopefully, before game time, we'll get to play this game. So I'm going to pick Riverside. Riverside travels down to Druid Hills and picks up their first win of the season in their first game of the season.
Yes, first game since 2019.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. I'm taking Riverside, too, based on this one stat that the Red Devils...
It's just one?
Just one. They've been shut out in 5 straight games in 8 of their last 9 games going back to 2019, and their only win in that time was a forfeit. So,
Caleb?
How is Riverside going to adjust to playing for the first time in that long? I don't know. What is Riverside going to look like? I really don't know because we haven't seen them in action. The only time they played was a scrimmage where they didn't have a lot of their players active. I'm going to take Druid Hills, and I guess what's going to be called an upset, but I just don't know what to expect out of this Riverside team until we see it in action.
Odd man.
I'm liking that pick right there.
There you go. There's the pick.
I'm liking that
South
one.
Side at Jefferson. I guess it's my start for this one?
Yeah.
Okay. South Side under the direction of a new coach, but I don't think it's going to matter. Number 1 Jefferson going to roll in this one, and again, here we are on game day. Let's hope it's played.
Oh, this is going to be a brutal game. I mean, Southside, they're coming over and they're just going to it's going to be bad because they've only scored 9 points all year. They got to go against that Jefferson defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be pretty.
So you're picking Southside?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm taking.
I was thinking you were
Jefferson.
going there, but
no.
Okay.
I'm definitely taking
Okay.
Jefferson in this one. If there's a lock, Caleb said we should do a lock pick. This is it.
This is the lock.
This
pick.
is it.
Yeah. What you got?
There's not a lot of teams that I would take to beat Jefferson. Southside is not one of them. I'm taking Jefferson.
Oh, okay. Not one of them. Okay.
Starks and the Magic Dragons will ride through.
The Magic Dragons.
Did Caleb cover his face?
All right, and one final game left here on the schedule. White County at Pickens. Don't say county. White County at Pickens. What you got, Jeffro?
I tell you, I'm based on this one stat, I'm going to take the Dragons. They're only 11-9-1 at home against White County all time, but they're 9-2 in the last 11 meetings in Jasper. So I'm going with the Dragons based on that.
All right.
I'm taking Jasper, not Jasper County. Jasper.
Jasper.
Okay.
That's the city in Pickens.
I got you. Okay.
Okay. Apparently, I don't know geography
either. We're
either.
not talking about the high school. It is Pickens County.
Yes.
No, Pickens.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the high school.
Oh.
It is located in Pickens County.
Oh, Pickens.
Now I'm confused.
Okay,
again.
Pickens is located in Pickens County.
That's right.
Correct. Okay.
That's right. But,
making sure I got that.
But it is Pickens.
Just Pickens. Yeah,
County.
that's it. But no.
Are you guys having fun?
I'm not.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm having a blast.
Just who are you picking? Who are you picking?
I want to pick myself and go
Are you picking
home.
Pickens?
I'll pick Pickens.
So is that a clean sweep?
Yes, that's a clean
Clean
sweep.
sweep.
Pickens going to win that game that is in Jasper, which is located in Pickens County.
That's correct.
Okay.
But they're only
All right,
playing
guys,
Pickens.
that is
not
a wrap.
Pickens County.
That is a wrap. Coming up later today on the radio, Caleb will have the tailgate show from Smokehouse. Caleb, what can we expect out of that show?
Well, we're going to talk to Crofton Montgomery. I know they're off this week, but wanted to chat with him because West Hall's been off to a really good start this year. We're also going to talk about the Raven County Elka matchup, and we may play a little bit of that feature that me and Seth worked on, that 2009 Gainesville Flowery Branch matchup. I know they're not playing this week, but quite frankly, the work that Seth put in on that video came out too good to not play. So we might play a little bit of that on the show.
There's some tissue over there, Seth.
I'm not crying.
Oh. Yes, please. If you haven't seen
It's gratitude, not weeping.
If you have not seen the feature on the 2009 Flowery Branch Gainesville game that Seth and Caleb have done a fantastic job on, check it out. It's on the website. Just go search it up, or you can find it on our YouTube page. It is a fantastic feature.
I like how you call it our first A60.
Yes.
Our first of the
It actually
A60.
turned out to be an A30, but whatever.
An A30, but
yeah. That's good.
Well, if
high
people
quality.
like it, I'm really proud of it. I know Seth is too. If people like it, there have been a lot of great games in Northeast Georgia over the years, and who knows, maybe in some future years we can rustle up another couple of those if people like this one.
Agreed. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Big night coming up around the area, so we'll have all of that on our Friday Game Night page. Also, go to our Twitter page after kickoff because we do update game scores and other things on our Friday Game Night page, and that's on Twitter at Friday Game Night. It's at Hutch9473 for Caleb Hutchins, at HartJJ22. I'm at Bo Wilson. Seth is at Nowhere as he runs our Instagram page. So check us out on Instagram, Access WDUN Sports. For Seth, Caleb, Jeff, I'm Bo. Enjoy week number 3 of high school football.